With everything going on with AI and ChatGPT, these are 10 things you need to know before you hire anybody in 2025 or 2026. Here's why. This year alone, we have 27,000 resumes that have been submitted to us. We've interviewed roughly 4,000 of them, hired 160 of them. Right now we have 41, 42 job openings that are people that we want to hire before the end of the year. But these are 10 things I want to share with you as a CEO or a business owner to do before hiring anybody else moving forward. Okay, if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching this, maybe you don't run a business, you want to find out what our 43 job openings are, click on our link below. It'll tell you all about it on vt.com/careers. Let's get right into it. With ChatGPT, here's what we've noticed is taking place. You could interview somebody, and if the assignment you give them, they do at their house and they send it to you, looks so impressive. But I don't know if you have critical thinking. How am I going to be able to decipher between whether you did the thinking or Perplexity did it, or Gemini did it, or OpenAI did it? I don't know how to do it. So we have to mix it up, because if you don't, there's never been a better time to fool the interviewer than today because of ChatGPT and AI. So number two, when you're interviewing somebody, do on-the-job interviews. For instance, the other day I got a guy that comes in, this was a few months ago, and he wanted to work for our marketing department with YouTube Creator Studios. And he comes in and I said, so have you worked with YouTube before? Oh yeah. Have you worked with Spotify? Absolutely. So you know everything about YouTube? Oh yeah, okay, great. Here's our Creator Studios for our Valuetainment channel. I want you to go find PBD Podcast channel and see how many subscribers we got last week. So I pulled the chair right next to him, and I said, go ahead, I hand him the phone. I said, oh, it's easy. And he starts going like this, 1 minute, 2 minutes. And then he starts going like this. And by the way, let me just tell you how long it should take you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and then I put 7 days. That's it. I can tell how many subscribers we got the last 7 days. He's sweating, his face is red. I said, are you good? He says, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to do this. He said, I would have learned on ChatGPT. I said, I don't need to hire somebody here to teach them YouTube. I want somebody that already knows how to do this for the position that we're hiring. And he's just like, you know what, I'm probably not good for this job. Yesterday, we're hiring for a couple engineers. The engineers come in, one in the 90 percentile, one in the 75 percentile. Salary gap is massive. So we like the guy in the 90 percentile. We put him right in front of the computer. We give him a small little thing to code. He starts coding. He said, man, it's been a long time. I'm a little bit rusty, his words. Takes him 20 minutes. Then the other guy at the lower percentile comes in. 2 minutes, he gets the job done. We wanted the other guy because his resume was fat and impressive, but the other guy didn't have that fat and impressive of a resume, but he was a better coder than the other guy on the job training. Somebody comes into our cigar lounge, our bar, the boardroom. Have you been a hostess before? Have you been a waiter before? Have you been a waitress before? Yes. Show me how you carry the plates. Oh, boom. Nope, this person doesn't know me. Kel's like, this is not our person. Make me an old fashioned. Nope, not the bartender. Can you do it? Everything moving forward has to be in a way of somebody doing it right in front of you. Customer service, perfect. Can you answer the calls for me? Let's role play. How would you answer this? Okay, next. Cold call. Go ahead and give me a script. The last company you worked for where you know how to make cold calls, how did you do it? Great. Write up an email for me. I'll go boom with a good chat. Okay, so you notice this person doesn't know the difference between lose. These are the things that you're interviewing people today on the job type of interviews. Number 3, case studies. The case study type of interviews that we do is very important to us. So somebody comes in on the HR side, let's just take, or somebody comes in on the finance side. We will say, one department has a budget for this much money. They apply for a purchase of $200,000. Their max is $50,000. What do you do? Well, I wouldn't do anything because I already have the controls in place, because whoever we bank with, whether it's Wells, B of A, Chase, I've already put the controls for that employee, because on the Wells, this guy knows what he's talking about. Next person. So let's just say we have an HR issue. A couple start dating each other. One is from one company, one is from the other company. They date. Something happens, how do you handle it? Oh, it's very easy. This is how you bring the both together. First you do one-on-one interviews, and then, you don't know. All right, so let's just say we have an HR issue that takes place with such and such, with health, with this. How do you handle this? They don't know how to handle it. There has never been a more important time to be interviewing people, asking case study type questions in the moment, Not get back to me, not even on Zoom, face-to-face, phone set aside so nobody's sharing with them on critical thinking because they're giving you the answer. Number 4 is HR. Let me explain to you what I mean by HR. Earlier today, I'm having a conversation with one of our clients at Bid David Consulting. You want to learn more about it, just go to biddavid.com. It'll tell you all about our consulting firm that we do for 10,000 businesses, 60 plus countries. One of the guys I'm talking about is he wants to hire somebody in the HR side. So listen, I'm paying this company $10,000 a month to give me 4 employees a month. I said, why don't you just hire somebody internally? But maybe they're not a talent acquisition person. I said, perfect. When it comes down to hiring HR people, ask what they did. What do you mean? Let me explain. Say you're hiring somebody that's going to be an HR manager. The job of HR, some people are good at talent acquisition. Some people are good at employee relations. Some people are good at data. Some are there for the benefits. They understand the 401k, health insurance, GNA, whatever the companies are, AD. There's so many of them, right? And then some people are good at taking care of the property to place the real estate, right? Say I bring an HR manager in. Yes. You ask them. Say you need somebody. The number one reason why you're hiring them is because of talent acquisition. Number 2 is benefits. So let's do talent acquisition. So Mary, how many interviews have you done in your career? What do you mean? Talent acquisition, how many job interviews have you done? Probably 20. It stops right there, right? Especially if you're willing to pay, let's just say in the 75 percentile. Somebody else comes in. How many job interviews have you done in your career? I don't know, 500 plus? Really? How many have you placed? Probably 60 jobs. Did you make the offer? Yes. Okay. What were some things you learned in the first 100 interviews you did that you no longer do, and the stuff that you're doing in the last 50 interviews? I used to ask this one question, but it was not necessary. The last 50 interviews I've done, these are the 3 questions I asked. Would you mind sharing it with me? Boom, boom, boom. This person knows what they're talking about. Okay, so if I were to come up to you and tell you, I need 5 engineers in such and such department, and I need full stack developers, what would you do? Very simple. 1, I would do this. 2, I would do this. 3, I would do this. 4, I would. This person knows more about what to do. Asking questions, and then I go to benefits. When it comes down to benefits, which one the organizations have you? I work with GNA, I work with this, I work with that. I can tell you locally for Florida, the Florida Blue isn't as good of a program, or it is a better program than this is. Now we're talking about somebody, but asking more specific questions, especially when it comes down to HR. Number 5, non-business activity. When you're hiring somebody, ask them, what type of non-business activity do you do? What is non-business activity? Church, charity. But you want some people that are coming in here that have non-business activity, that have people skills, they're out there, they're active, they're happy, they're doing things, they're gonna bring that positive energy into the environment. You want people that have a lot of non-business activity, that there's other things that they're excited about, better energy to be here. Number 6, references. Too often companies don't call the references, they're lazy about it. They wait for some, yeah, I just called, he's good. He's good. What did you ask him? No, he's good, he's good. How do you ask the question? I'm just asking, it's a good question. He's good. Can I hear the call you make? Show me what kind of a call you make. Give me a breakdown on the reference calls. And if you're watching, you may say, well, how should I ask the question? If you call anybody, typically employers are not going to give you the truth of a previous employee because they don't want that conflict. But if you ask it and say, look, from one executive to another, you know what it's like when somebody doesn't give you the right references and you're hiring somebody. Would you mind just leveling with me? Would you ever rehire this person again? Never. Can you tell me one reason why? Here's why. They have an issue, and this is what happens. They don't do well on this. Great. So your job to get better references is based on how you set it up, how you frame the whole thing so the individual's willing to give you references on the people you're hiring. Number 7, gaps in a resume. What happened between 2021 and 2023? Oh, I was taking care of my mother. I was taking care of my father at 48 years old. Yeah. Huh. As a man, you were, yeah. So you have plenty of savings in place? Oh yeah, I just took 2 years off. Got it. So you didn't have any other job and anything else? No, I was just doing freelancing. Now it's a 50-50, okay, on what you do. Now, some people may say, honestly, I was working at another company, didn't end well, so I didn't put it on the resume. I prefer you tell me that. That tells me this person's got strong character. They're not afraid of it. Fantastic. Just the other day, we decided to team up with a company we invested in simply because when I went to their company to visit them and I spent time with the 50-50 partners, they were so honest about the mistakes they made in the last 5-10 years. I said, I can work with these guys. Let's invest into this company. You want that. But the gaps, ask the questions to find out what the gaps are. Number 8, and by the way, short stint at companies. If they're like 1 year, we just looked at a resume last week, very qualified person, 8 jobs in 8 years, each one of them was about a year. How long do you think this person's going to be at our company? Probably about a year. Why? Because the moment it gets tough, either they fired the person or this person quits. So look for the gaps in the amount of time, the short stints that worked at company as well. Number 8, very important question I ask when I'm hiring people. I'll say, you're an executive, qualified, nice resume. Tell me about the top 3 best CEOs you work for. Well, I work for this guy, this guy, this guy. How many founders have you worked for? What do you mean? There's a big difference between working for a corporate CEO and working for a founder. Have you ever worked in a startup environment before? I never have. Great. If you're running a startup, and if you know the difference between working for a CEO and a founder, it's a night and day. A CEO comes in, probably makes a $500,000 salary, plus a 50% bonus, plus some stock options, maybe an LTIP, and they go get their job done. But their life savings is not tied to the company. The founder, their life savings is tied to the company. They run in a very different way. The pressure of working with a founder is a lot higher than the pressure of working with a CEO. Working with a CEO is like boom, chop, 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 chop. Founder is different. Some people, no, I got it. It's going to be great. It's going to be nothing. This is your opportunity. If you choose to hire the individual, I have in many cases who have never worked with a startup, you best manage expectations with them clearly up front. Don't oversell the dream. Don't do that. Because sometimes people just sell the dream of the company only. No, sell the truth. Sell the nightmare. Let me tell you what our vision is. We would like to build a $100 billion holding company within the next 20 years. But let me be upfront with you. We're at a phase right now where it's a very challenging phase. We just hired 160 people in 2025 from a bunch of different cultures. We're trying to get everybody to work together. And it's high octane, intense. Some people are wearing 3 hats. It's a challenging environment. If you're working at David Consulting, you're probably working 60 to 80 hours every week. If you want to have a fighting chance of making it, if you do 80 hours a week within 3 years, you could be making between this and this. And that's what it's going to look like. But don't just sell the dream. Sell the dream, sell the vision, but sell the truth. Tell them the truth on how it is. Because if you just sell them the dream and they don't find out about how hard we're going to be working, this person doesn't want to roll up the sleeves, and guess what, Prime? Tonight, I'm going to go meet with somebody at 8 o'clock tonight. And this is probably the 5th meeting I'm having with this guy. I'm going to meet with him, and we're going to say, do you want to do this? Or do you just want to come in corporate executive type? Because if you want to do this, let's go take over the world. If you don't, we're probably not going to be a good fit. This is exactly the conversation we're going to be having with this person. And last but not least, if you're hiring C-suite executives and you're going through saying, I want to hire a marketer, okay? Marketers will come up to you like a CMO or director of marketing or VP of marketing, and they'll say, look at the amount of impressions I got. Look at the amount of eyeballs I got. There's a reason why, according to Harvard, there's an article that says why CMOs never last. The lifespan, according to, I want to say this is according to Harvard. No, this is according to Korn Ferry. CEO's lifespan at companies is 8 years. CFO's lifespan at a company, on average, 5.1 years. Chief HR officers is 5 years. CIO, Chief Information Officer, is 4.3 years. CMOs only make it to 4.1 years. Why? Because CEOs get so annoyed with CMOs. Because it's not tied to a certain number. Instead of hiring CMOs, consider doing it Chief Growth Officer, Chief Revenue Officer. A marketing person could come in. By the way, the CEO of Starbucks right now is one of the best CMOs we ever had. He's one of the only guys that went from CMO to being a CEO of 2 major companies, Chipotle and Starbucks, Brian Niccol. But very rarely do you see CMOs becoming CEOs. Because it's all hypothetical and look how exciting it is and look what we did. Nope. Tie it to specific results. I'm expecting you to increase the revenue by 48% the next 12 months if you're here. Can you take on a pressure like that and tie your bonus and your equity to it? Yes. So I'm not talking impressions. No. I want to see ROAS be 1.8 or higher. Great. You want that pressure? Yes. Welcome on board. Let's go do business together. These are just some things for you to be thinking about before you going out there hiring people, because if you don't do it right, it is going to be a pain in the body. You keep hiring, firing, and we've gone through it so many times, and I'm just sharing some of the mistakes that we've made with you on what can help you out. Again, if you want to get the notes here, go to Manek PBD Entrepreneur Circle. All the notes will be in there for free. Just go download it for yourself. And if you want to ask me any questions of things I talked about, my Manek QR code will be here or the link below. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.